T-Rex, we have to be really quiet. The house is sleeping, okay? Right to the door. No, Kiki, you can go out later. Rex? Sorry. Hi, Kiki. All right, let's go. Let's go. Oh, yeah. We're gonna get away from the house so we can make some noise. Everyone's still sleeping. It's 7 o'clock on a Saturday, and it's another gorgeous Saturday. Let's go down toward the water, T-Rex, okay? Look at the footprints in the sand, T-Rex. This sand is cold, trust me. Climbing over a dune where I can make a little bit more noise. Come on, T-Rex, let's go. People sleeping in the house. I think that one is unoccupied. And so this is our second morning out the door here on the shore of what's called Duxbury, Kingston, Plymouth Bay. And look across. Now, I don't have my noise canceling mic, so the problem with the audio is when I zoom, I have to talk louder, but I see some steam coming off the water. This is looking over towards Plymouth. Mayflower is over there, the power plant's over there. Look at the boats just drifting with the tide. The tide is going out, obviously, but it swirls around this point right here. A lot more on the end more when I get to this. So this morning, it certainly did cool off. Radiational cooling in southern New England. Wow, southeastern Massachusetts. Look at the cool spots this morning. 43 degrees with a dew point of 43. The blue number being the dew point in New Bedford this morning, and Plymouth, both in the lower 40s. Wow, I could hear the dew dripping off the roof this morning. And then you move north, and it was in the 30s in parts of New Hampshire, but in the Champlain Valley, low 50s. So interesting. We have a little a weakness in our high pressure system, but not weak enough to spoil our weekend. It is gorgeous. Now here in southeastern Massachusetts, this is our 11th nice Saturday in a row. Now, last Saturday we had to put up with the clouds for several hours, but it did end up turning sunny. T-Rex, come here, stop. I think these neighbors are here, so I don't want to make too much noise. Never know what you're going to find out here in the dunes. All right, Rex, you want to go out to the water? Come on. Yeah, we'll go that way. But take a right. Come on, Rex. These rocks are tough. I'm a barefoot kind of guy, and we can go over here to the point, and I can make more noise. Come on, Rex. Rex loves running in the sand. All right, so here we are. And you know what this is right here? Come on, Rex. That's called Irish moss, and it used to be a big industry here in southeastern Massachusetts. I can't remember. I think they made perfumes and shampoos out of it. Yeah. Never know what you're going to see in out-the-door weather and more. There are the tire tracks coming up off the beach. Rex, okay, you take care of business right there, and I'll take care of the weather business. We have a little weakness in the isobars today. The surface map this afternoon shows little orange dashed line with an L separating the two H's. So we have a little weakness, sort of a upper level trough, surface trough, a positive vorticity advection. We call that PVA, and it's instability, and it can generate a sprinkle this afternoon in parts of New England, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. And then there's another front coming out of southeastern Canada, and that's going to be here tomorrow with another isolated shower or storm. Rex, this way. Come on, Rex. Come on, Rex. Usually he'll run right out here. This is what we love to call the point right here, where the two currents meet. T-Rex, let's go. So walking the dog and doing the weather. Rex, this way. Come on, Rex. He doesn't really like the water, but we're not going to go to or in the water. Long shadow. I got up this morning, came out when the sun was just barely below the horizon, and the stars were brilliant. There was Venus and Jupiter, and apparently there are a couple of comets going across our sky too. And if you go to the website called Time and Date, you can see all the things going on as we approach our autumnal equinox, and it's the 22nd. So now that is in the 10-day forecast. This sand at Saquish is so soft. It is a special kind of sand. Cormorant. And day 10 does take us out to Monday, September 22nd, and that's when there may be a hurricane off the coast of the United States. National Hurricane Center says there's only 0% probability of tropical cyclone formation of that little tiny wave, almost imperceptible, coming off of Africa. So no chance in the next 48 hours, but then after that they say 40% chance. And last night the Euro guidance and much of the guidance does generate a tropical cyclone taking a very similar path to Aaron. It would be named Gabrielle, and yes, we went through this routine last week, didn't we? And as for this weekend, wow, look at all the boats out there. There are a lot of people fishing here at the mouth of Plymouth Bay. And our friends Kim and Tom Spicer delivered us some lobster from out there yesterday. All right, Rex, please stop. All right, Rex, yeah, let's go this way. We can talk a little louder in this direction. So where was I? Yes, the National Hurricane Center says probably going to have a tropical cyclone. And it's very difficult. These 5 to 10 day forecasts, beyond 5 days, they're only sort of a rough estimate. I remember when today originally came on 10 days ago on our forecast, and it looked like it was going to be nice with a warm wave coming across Canada. And then a couple of days later, it showed an upper level cutoff low, like a wayward polar vortex coming at us for today and tomorrow. And then since then, that's completely gone away. And now it shows just an upper level trough coming at us with a weak front. And so it always kind of balances out as you get closer, and it's hard to keep track. Rex, please, this way, stop, the other way. Away from the buildings. Thank you. It's hard to concentrate too when you're walking a dog. At least we're not walking a cat too. And so those 5 to 10 day forecasts are just rough estimates. But if you watch every day, you can see this weather that we present here is like a soap opera. And we'll show you how the weather changes and how the weather forecasts change. And next weekend has changed dramatically from how it looked yesterday. And that's going to be the case anytime you're in an 8 to 10 day forecast. But in the Euro, we trust. So let's go there now. Well, I'll show you the meteogram. This is also from the Euro. This is Nashua, New Hampshire, representative for New England. And it shows quite nice here. Clouds mixed with sunshine today, just an outside chance of a sprinkle, higher chance in the higher elevations, west and north. And temperature gets up into the low 70s. There's a light variable wind, light onshore breeze near the coast. So just a gorgeous day for most of us. And then tomorrow it's quiet, looks like a little brighter. And then Monday we have the warm air advection beginning in western New England. Now at this time we're going to have a new cool high pressure system from Canada, so the blue lines stay low. Cool nights and mild days. And then it takes to about Wednesday we get to 80, and then we are in the 80s for Wednesday or Thursday and Friday before the next front comes in. Now every bit of guidance has really changed, dramatically cooler and more wet for next weekend. So that's something we'll see here as I show the graphic representation. Look at T-Rex. I can massage him to sleep sitting right here, right now. And who doesn't want to do that? Rex, let's just sit down. Rex, sit. Sit. Come on. Show the people that I know how to make you sit. Good. And we're just going to sit here and do the weather. Sitting on the shore. And maybe, I think the osprey might have left. So I don't think we're going to see an osprey catch a fish for us live on Out the Door Weather and More. But how about a fisherman catching a fish for us? I think that's the same boat that was here at sunrise yesterday and all afternoon. I mean, we've got some obsessive fisher people around here. All right, now you couldn't hear me so well. Now you can hear me again better. Sorry about this audio. I forgot my noise canceling microphone, which has consistent audio. To the Euro, please. And here it is with our little weak upper level low and a weak surface trough generating just an isolated sprinkle, and new high pressure from Canada, another one sort of reinforcement of air from Canada to keep us nice going through tomorrow into Monday. It's on the south and west side of these high pressure systems that I always say you got to keep an eye on, and on the south side certainly has been tough. In South Florida there was flooding yesterday, and as that front down in the south tries to lift north, you get the action coming through North Carolina. That's an onshore flow. It's been the case for so many weeks in a row. They just can't catch a break. North Carolina, South Carolina, these highs that are so nice to us present strong wind from the northeast down there with big surf and off and on rain. And then we have getting toward midweek, you have the 570 thickness right over us on Wednesday. That means 85 to 90 away from the coast, still a light sea breeze. And the front for Thursday, Friday certainly looks different today than yesterday. Yesterday, strong high in eastern Canada just pushed that front through here with no problem. But now instead, the high pressure system looks like it wants to go through central Canada into the Great Lakes, and the front is stalled over us next Friday night and Saturday with waves of low pressure and off and on rain next Saturday into Sunday. And again, now once you get out to days 7 and 8, it's going to change, but that shows not a very nice weekend. And this is the Euro. The GFS actually has rain and temperatures in the 40s next Sunday, where this one just has showers, and Sunday being the last day of celestial summertime, and day 10 now is Monday, September 22nd. And at that time, the front has stalled south of us. There's waves of energy coming at us. There's a 558 cutoff low pressure system that's a cool pool aloft, and that's over Kentucky, and then the flow coming in from the south would generate showers in New England, but there's another front just north of us coming at us from Canada, and those fronts from Canada are hurricane repellent. Now again, this is now 8 p.m. on Monday, September 22nd, the equinox day, and as we slide the perspective south, what is that? That is a 958 tropical cyclone, 958 millibar being central pressure. That would be a major hurricane, very similar to the position where Aaron made the turn in the Western Atlantic and missed New England well to the southeast. And at this time, Gabrielle, the potential future hurricane, would take a track similar to Aaron if it evolves. And we know we saw this about 10 days ago. There was supposed to be a hurricane near Florida today. So the weather changes in waves, and the weather forecast change in waves. T-Rex, you want to just fall right asleep right there, looking at the sun? So yesterday, a nice lazy day, and a lot of love in the house. Tracy rented for her birthday week, and lots of generations here. And I called the dog the wrong name. I called Kiki Kiko. Kiki is a beautiful mother of 5 litters, purebred Champagne Labrador, and offering up the love at sunset yesterday. Ragged old flag and the sunset, and Kiki resting on the Spicer sisters' laps and just enjoying life. And so that's what we're trying to do here. And you get to the water and the sands, and sometimes you can forget your troubles for a while. So hopefully that happens with you as you watch our out the door weather and more. Is yesterday's weather today. T-Rex, look at the camera one more time. Rex, and more. And more. It's only about 9 o'clock in the morning. Got planes circling around over here near the Plymouth airport. Kiko, where you going? We just had a dog. Kiko just came out. We'll see more of Kiko, I'm sure. And the plane's flying around. I looked up and I noticed the moon. Morning moon. And then I looked over here and there's a flagpole. Hand rigged by TK. More than 10 years ago. Yep. We used to own this property a long time ago when I met my wife. And here we are revisiting it. Someone else owns it, so someone else can take care of the boat and the dune and the water and the electricity. And I wish I had brought a flag to raise up that pole. Hey, what are you catching over there? Yeah, Kiko. What a friendly boy. Girl? I can't remember. Kiko can be a boy or a girl. You mind if I check? A girl. Yeah, good girl. Oh yeah, there's been some cloudiness. I do have on a little bit of an extra layer this morning, but I think these instability clouds will evaporate here on the coast. They'll probably build up a little bit inland. 11 a.m. update. Got some instability cumulus in southeastern Massachusetts. Plymouth always has the most interesting weather. Get some sailors, get some beachgoers, we get some gulls. Really pretty clouds, and as you move north, it's a bluer sky. And what are the odds? Tracy had a flag in her Jeep, and I got to put up a flag on the flagpole that I built more than 10 years ago, and I haven't seen in about that long. I feel very blessed right now. Also the anniversary of Johnny Cash, I believe, passing. I just looked it up. It was 27 years ago we lost Johnny Cash. And one of our favorite songs is Ragged Old Flag. Hard to believe Tracy had a ragged old flag in her Jeep to put on TK's ragged old flag pole. And I talked about that point in yesterday's Out the Door, and now it's high tide, so the fishermen love to hang out at the point where the current from the right meets the current from the back, and the little fish get chased up by the big fish, and then the fishermen try and catch the big fish. Hopefully we'll see one of those get caught. I think the osprey, my opportunity to catch an osprey catching a fish is probably passed for the season. But what a gorgeous Friday. Fridays are good if you can get them. Some of us are getting them. There's our ragged old flag, but that one looks more robust. You're gonna come in and catch a fish for us? Everyone's coming over here now with the high tide. Yeah, the water really rips through here. Remember how low it was first thing in the morning? And let's do the time warp again. I helped put in this snow fence a decade ago anyway. The pylons Jimmy Nielsen drove. Hey Jimmy, another day in paradise, isn't it? That house right there was much smaller. It's been built up. The one behind it was just a deck on stilts. That's a spec house. It's for sale. And what we really want to do is a time lapse here of the water coming up. High tide, about 90 minutes away. And boats going by and all that. Birds, people. Alright, I'm going to make a line in the sand. The tide's not allowed to go past this line. We interrupt this time lapse to bring you breaking news. Ryan's sister Lee was just dropped off by her parents. How great. Water taxi. Nice to meet you. If you come back at low tide, we'll still make it happen. That's funny. So yeah, watching the water come up and down, it's so interesting. You know, the tides can be predicted years and years in advance. We can't predict tomorrow's weather, but we can predict high tide in 100 years. So some waves are very predictable, like the mound of water going around the globe. Actually, two mounds of water, one toward the sun, one toward the moon. And nice boat, Grady White. Parents are now like, we're free. And all affected by gravity. So pretty much all waves have to do with the pull of the sun and gravity and the pull of the moon, and when it comes to weather, a bunch of other nearly invisible forces. More and more and more. Want to see some of the shells that are washing up? This place is so interesting. Not that one. But like these. And also around here, some massive, talking massive mussels. Let me go search for these too. So much to do. You can see the mussel in that mussel. I think it's huge. It's the size of Mitt's mitt. Speaking of waves, those waves, beautiful. It's Past 3 now, and in other news, Charlie Orloff just called from Mashpee on Cape Cod, and he said, what a miserable day. A cloud came in this morning and it's been cloudy all day on Cape Cod. Well, at least that part of Cape Cod. So my theory, we make up excuses here, is that the front that came in yesterday is a dry front, stalled at the south coast, and there's just enough forcing there on Cape Cod to form that cloud. I'll look at the satellite and wind data before I make my final conclusion, and we will see a time lapse from Bass River. Check on what Charlie just said, but weather does as it pleases, and it pleases us right now here in Plymouth anyway. Fun with light waves. Look at this lobster pot. Looks like it's ready to take off out of the dune. That's funny. Ready for liftoff. I do believe these are the same 2 fishermen that were out there at sunrise. That would have been about 8 hours ago. Must have a boat full of fish by now, right? What do you got? Looks like they're fly fishing even. It's a convergence zone.
Nice waders.
What just happened?
A cooler bag?
Do you want to see what my parents dropped off for
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Were these just swimming around in Plymouth Bay just now?
dinner? Tracy, do you care what cooler I put them in?
I was just clearing out the red one for them.
What's your parents' names?
Kim and Tom.
Kim and Tom.
Do you want to bring this?
Thank you, Kim and Tom. What are we going to name these guys? That's them right there. Thank you, Kim and Tom.
Right here. Anyone want to put it?
Correction from earlier. I apologize for calling you Kiko when your real name is Kiki. You like that hammock, huh? Hammock frame. Yeah. Somewhere around here there's probably a hammock and a real cool looking piece of driftwood as the sun gets lower on the horizon. Charlie, did that cloud clear out of Cape Cod? Looks like it did. So another nice Saturday. Now Cape Cod ended up with a nice Saturday last weekend in the end. So this will be the 11th nice Saturday on Cape Cod, I do believe, in a row, back to July 5th. Rogue wave, surf is up. Grab that board. Go get that levitate, quick. T-Rex, what do you see up there? Rex is loving this sunset adventure. And I'm loving this. It looks like, I think those are laughing gulls. I mean, I see some black heads, but they're not all the same. Boy and girl, maybe? And they don't spend the winter here, so I think they're congregating and planning their trip south. No, that's not a laughing gull. Not sure the name of the gulls. But we break for birds, as you all know. As the tide goes out here. Gorgeous. Almost time to start playing the piano and having some time lapse of the tide in Weymouth coming in and then going out. T-Rex, are you on break, Rex? What are you doing? The long T-Rex shadow. Look at that, funny. What's down there, Rex? Yes. Can you get us some clams? Maybe a sea worm? Thank you. What's down there, Rex? See ya. Kiki, where is everybody? I think they're down by the water. I know. We'll be right back. Gonna go make the final video of the day. Yeah. Family over there. House isn't even done. And they're enjoying the evening. A bunch of kids. Can't see him right now, but he's got a drone up in the sky. Just going around and around. Enjoying this gorgeous sunset. It's blinding even. And I was talking about that rip right there. Let's go check that out. Where's T-Rex? I'm not sure. follow the footprints in the sand, those don't look like T-Rex prints there, do they? Oh, these look like T-Rex prints. I think I know where he is. Over there. T-Rex. Where is he? Inside that fence? Come on, Rex. There he is. You come here, T-Rex. That's the whistle I taught him when he was a baby. Look how happy he is. Yeah, Rex. Good to see you. I know. Yeah. He's like, I'll just wait here. Tim, TK, why don't you go out and look at this Saquish sand. We'll talk more about that tomorrow, but it's so soft. Yeah. T-Rex. He doesn't really like the water, so I'll come over here by myself. And then it gets hard right here. Those are little T-Rex prints, I believe. And so this is a point where our two currents meet out there, Bug Light. Can't really see it, can you? But to my right, that's Kingston Bay and Duxbury Bay, and it's emptying into the Atlantic Ocean. So all that water is headed from right to left. And it meets right here with the water coming out of Plymouth Bay. And it's a real strong current that on the outgoing tide really moves out into the Atlantic Ocean over there. So it's kind of a dangerous spot to try and go swimming, but it's certainly a spectacle and one of the wonders of nature and fluid dynamics, water. Waves landing from two different directions right here. This is so fun. More and more and more. Tell you what, I don't care if I get a copyright infringement. I'm just loving what's going on here right now and the memories of my childhood. And I was a little older in life when I became a huge Johnny Cash fan. And when I raised this flag today, I couldn't not think of Johnny Cash, who died 27 years ago. So I'm gonna play it out with that, my favorite Johnny Cash tune.
I walked through a county courthouse square. On a park bench, an old man was sitting there.